Good morning. So, episode 3 or whatever of this documentary, whatever, of what I'm going through with the glioblastoma. So, I watched over the videos and there's a couple things I have to go over that I did not go over beforehand. Some of the things that have happened because of this glioblastoma are I've got cognitive issues I'm dealing with right now. There's a few of them actually. One of them is I've become confused. Insert joke here, I get it. But one of the things I do is when I do drive, and I try not to drive too often, and when I do drive, it's when there's not a lot of traffic because of this. I can't see my hand right now at all. I can kind of detect motion, but I can't see it. Right now I can kind of see a finger, and right now is when I finally see the finger at all. So it's basically, I can sense motion, I can kind of see motion, but it's not very clear at all. Clearly, driving is a problem. So when I do drive, my head is absolutely on a swivel constantly. And like I say, I drive when there's not a lot of traffic out there. The doctors, I did talk to the doctors yesterday about this issue, and it sounds like it is what it is. It doesn't sound like I'm going to be getting it back. At first, they said that there was a possibility that I would get some degree of that back, and now they're pretty much resigned to the fact that I'm going to have, it's called a cutaway, where I just don't really see anything here. I can see this hand, no problem. Goes to here and then it just disappears right here. It's bizarre. And this is because the tumor went on so long, and we didn't get it out in time. Again, it is what it is. Another issue with this, because of how long it was in my melon, is I really have a problem with directions too. So these places I've gone my whole life, I can see them in my mind's eye, and I just can't figure out how to get there. I have to actually stop the car or stop walking or what have you, and I have to really think it through as best I can. And even then, I think I'm going the right way, and I'm going the wrong way. Again, it's really frustrating. Reading is a problem too. I don't have anything I can show you, but for example, the word, I can be reading just fine, and then I'll come up to the word the, or way, or something like that, and I will stare at it, and I just can't figure out what the word is. I have to actually look at each letter, spell it out in my head, and then I can finally figure it out. Sometimes, like if I see the word W-A-Y, I'll look at W, and I'll have to process what that is. And then the A, process what that is. And then I think sometimes it says was or were. And this is just because, and hopefully I can find a picture of the MRI, and you can see the amount of dead brain cells. Well, actually not dead brain cells anymore on the MRI. It's basically liquid now. And there's a large portion of it that's just gone. Again, I'm not lamenting with that. It is what it is, and I just got to deal with it. So, typing is also a problem. I feel like I'm one over all the time. Instead of an M, it's an N. It's always one off. Again, these are just minor, tiny little things in my world. Some of this stuff will come back. to some degree. Some of it won't. The eyesight apparently will not come back, but a lot of this other cognitive byproducts of this glioblastoma could reappear, could remap, whatever. So, the interactions with the initial or the medications I was taking, I think I did go over that, but the hunger spikes were just bizarre. Just out of the blue, I just had to just pound food, and the restlessness, the prednisone just kept me up all the time. And those of you who know me know I don't need any help staying awake. I stay awake quite a bit. Another thing along with the eyesight is my eyesight, it has diminished. Whereas just before this happened, I got an eye doctor appointment because I was having all the issues. And they did a battery of tests and said my eyesight was 20/20. There's nothing wrong with my eyesight. So, I mean, I did take proper steps to check things, but they said my eyesight was just fine. Clearly it wasn't fine, and now it's diminished quite a bit. I'm not 20/20 anymore. As you can see, I've got glasses on right now. So there's that. Okay. I asked everybody for questions, and I got a bunch of them, and that's what I'm going to do today. Is I'm going to answer some of these questions. Feel free to ask more, because I really want this to be informative. I want people who do have a glioblastoma, or who have a family member or a friend. I want them to understand what we're going through. So yeah, keep them coming. I love it, and hopefully you guys will learn something from this as well. So I haven't really read through these. I just printed them off. Okay, so apparently this is a shot at how I looked in the last video. On your limited income, Brian, how can you afford the makeup crew from The Walking Dead to work on your video? Thanks for kicking a guy when he's down. I appreciate that. I'm doing these at like 2 in the morning because I got nothing better to do with this. I don't sleep at all, so these are 2:30 in the morning, but thank you for that question. That was very nice of you. No, I do my own makeup. So, again, I haven't read through these, so let's see what happens here. Hi, Brian. My questions are, I know this, okay, this is, you'll see that my reading is clearly impaired now because of what's happened here. And I know my Uncle Pat is going to say you've always had problems reading, but no, I've been a really good reader my whole life. So I know this is a fast-growing cancer. Do the doctors believe that they got all of the cancer out when they did the surgery? I think they were very happy with the results. They got a vast, it gets back down to the cellular level. So I think that they got, probably 95 to 99% of it. But you were talking cells, and the fact that my brain had to heal before that we can go through the chemo and the radiation, it allows those cells to grow back. So and on the 3rd of March is when I start to get into the chemo and radiation. Then they will target those cells and get rid of those. Will you be doing any other treatment for this? The main treatments that we'll be doing are chemo and radiation. And then I will be on another trial. And once I get more information on that, because I haven't for sure got to the one I want, but the one I'm looking at it's basically a 50-50 of medication which has shown promise, and the other half of that is a placebo. and I'm not going to lie, I did look around at all the trials that were out there, and I did try to get into a trial that was, or I did get into a trial that was further along. This is a stage 3 trial that I'm probably going to be getting on, but that still has which means that the medication is further along and it's shown a lot of promise. But there is still a 50% chance that I'm just going to get a placebo, which, again, in all honesty, I would prefer to get just the medication that has shown promise. But somebody has to go through the trial. Somebody has to take the placebo to make sure that this is all working properly. And if it's me, it is me. It is what it is. So if this helps everybody else, great. Has it spread anywhere else that you know of? Thankfully, no. The type of cancer that I have, while aggressive and rare, all the markers, everything that's happened since my diagnosis, this has been I've been really lucky outside of getting it. This kind of cancer is very receptive to treatment. And the type of cancer, everything has kind of fallen into line to being very treatable, not curable. I'm always gonna have this to some degree, probably gonna take me, but this is about as good as I can get. What can we do to help Annie? And those of you who don't know, Annie is my wife, and she's absolutely amazing. And I think with anybody who's married to somebody that has one of these, just support them, check in on them, because while people may feel bad for me, don't, because I mean this sincerely. I am absolutely fine with my diagnosis. I absolutely am. And again, I'll say it. I've said it 1,000 times before. I'll say it another 1,000 times. I'm blessed that I got this. It's given me an insight to things that I'd never had the opportunity to see. So, as far as Annie or the spouses or the significant others or whatever, you just got to be there for them. Ask them if there's something they can do. Be there. Check in on them, and if people are watching this that have someone that has a glioblastoma and they don't know me, you got to try and be positive. You just have to be positive around people. Negativity proves nothing. It doesn't help anything at all. Negativity is just it's a cancer in and of itself. Being happy, being positive, I don't see how you can't use that as your main tack. I just don't. So that was from my friend Kelly. Known her for almost as long as I've known Annie. So thank you, Kelly. I appreciate that. Okay, this one, looking to the bottom, this is from a friend of ours, good friend of ours, Eric. What does your treatment plan hold for you? I kind of touched on that. It's basically just chemo and radiation to start with, which they call the standard treatment. And it's been very effective. I will show you a picture of kind of what I'm going to be going through here in a little bit. And then I will be going through a trial. Again, the trial is basically placebo and a drug. Speaking of drugs. And yes, Jesse, I should be getting some kind of endorsement from Venom Energy Drink, because this is the best. Oh, that's something you can do for me. Find those for me. They're really hard to find. So, all right, next question. This is also from Eric. Eric's got a bunch of these. What sort of resources are available to help you and Annie and the pups mentally and emotionally process and handle all of this? See, as you can see, I'm having a difficult time reading. Some words come really easy and some don't. What sort of resources? Boy, there are all kinds of resources. I just haven't chosen to take any of them, to be honest with you. I'm a kind of a do-it-yourself kind of guy. I know that there's a glioblastoma society that I haven't gotten in contact with yet, but I will once I start my treatments. I think I will get in contact with them and see what they have to offer. And again, having dogs is amazing. They can. Anybody who has dogs knows that they can sense what's going on. They can sense when you're down, and as any responsible dog owner should do, is make sure that the kids are taken care of. Walk them. And actually getting out and about is really good for me mentally too. So I think the dogs are fantastic. What sort of symptoms and or side effects am I dealing with? Well, I think we've gone through the cognitive, the eyes, the confusion a little bit, and I wish I had that MRI. I will get it. You'll see the amount of mass that is missing now because of this bastard. It's a huge. Well, as I've told people, when they caught the glioblastoma, it was about the size of a lime. And when they took it out, it was almost the size of a lemon. So that's a big chunk that's missing from you. So if I forget your birthdays by accident, that's why. Side effects, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to be dealing with on the treatments. One of the things they said is that a loss of appetite, there's going to be weight loss, and believe it or not, I am trying to gain weight just in case, because I don't want to look emaciated. I guess I'm going to be tired. Again, a little bit of hair loss, but that's again happening naturally, so that doesn't bother me at all. His next question is what is something that people would be surprised to know about glioblastoma or its treatment? How did you tell the dogs? That's good, Eric. What would they be surprised? Again, the thing that blew me away was it doubles every 10 days. When I was given the diagnosis, and he said that it was about the size of a lime, and then this was on a Friday, and I love my doctor, Dr. Jorgensen. I really do, and I feel really bad that people have to give this news to people. But when he said it's about the size of a lime and it doubles every 10 days, what went through my head was why couldn't I have found this out on a Monday when you could work on it like in a day and a half or something like that? But no, it had to happen on a Friday afternoon, and I had to wait 2 or 3 days before I could even really see a doctor. I'm not blaming my doc. I mean, timing is what it was, but it sucked. What's the biggest hurdle you faced with your diagnosis? Now, see, I could read that just fine. It's weird how some words and some phrases will just absolutely trip me up, and I can't comprehend them. But what's the biggest hurdle? I honestly haven't had any hurdles. Again, I'm the kind of guy, like I've said, lay the track and I'll ride the rails. I don't think there's a hurdle. It's just I do miss working and helping Annie out, because it just seems like a lot of burden to put on her. But I think she understands that if I could, I'd be working and driving and doing deliveries, but it is what it is. What's something besides this question that is a... See, here we go. I can't get through this sentence. What's something besides this question that is minor in the grand scheme of things, but that really annoys the piss out of you about people in your experience so far? Nothing really annoys me anymore. It sounds like I'm making it up. It just doesn't. Nothing really, it's not that big of a deal anymore. What really bothers me, I guess I will say, is that people don't know how to react to somebody who's been given this diagnosis. And I absolutely empathize with them. How do you, again, I think I said this on a previous thing, how do you say goodbye to someone on the phone? Just, well, see you later, maybe, maybe not, I don't know. I feel bad for people that they have to deal with that. I really do. What are some useful or practical things that people can say or do when they see you? Hello. I mean, I don't feel I've changed at all as far as who I am, except that I'm a lot more open. Just be there. Just be friends. Just talk. It's all good. Ask questions if you want. I am, as you can tell, I'm absolutely fine with that. So Eric, thank you for all those great questions. I hope your pups are doing well. What were my early symptoms? This is from my neighbor, good friend Dan. Early symptoms were the headaches. They were really, they were migraines kind of, and I never get migraines. So like there's 3 instances where I had really bad migraines. One was absolutely debilitating. It was like 6 to 8 hours where I could barely move. It was horrible. It was horrible. And coincidentally, the same day that I had that really bad headache bout, or migraine is what they were, I got the flu, like the 24-hour flu, and I was really concerned that I had COVID because we had a big gig coming up. So that's about it there. Does this run in families, or is there an environmental reason? You know what, and I'll be honest with you, one of the things that I've tried to stay away from is what other people have surmised. I don't know if there's if this is a family thing, but I have heard where somebody said that I've heard someone say that someone else in their family had got this, but this is actually pretty rare. So I don't believe so, but again, I haven't done a lot of reading up on what I have, because all I want to do is just deal with it. I don't want to know my odds. I don't want to know percentages of whatever. The only time I've asked for stuff like that is I just talked to the doctors yesterday about my eyesight, and I said, hey, is this going to come back or not? And based on what you've seen, and they said no, my eyesight's going to be screwed basically for good. But again, I have an absolutely amazing family member who lost an eye quite some time ago, and he gets along just fine. And I think that we adapt to we should adapt to what's laid in front of us. I know some instances where people wallow and say that they're not happy, oh, woe is me. And I'm not going to be that kind of person. So, what else we got? What's the best way to what is the best way to treat a pot of boiled spaghetti noodles so that when you come back after a few seconds, they haven't become one giant noodle? This is from Jay, who works in my industry, in the food, in the concerts. First of all, Jay, good to hear from you. Secondly, you got to oil the noodles, dude. You got to oil the noodles. You can't just let them sit there. It's simple. That was an easy one. Thanks for the easy question. Are you afraid? Well, no, not at all. I mean, not at all. And these following questions are from my sister-in-law, Tam. have I chosen the study group? Or have you chosen a study to join yet? Okay, and yes, I have. I'm pretty sure that I have. And again, this one will be a combination of medication. Half of us will get medication, half of us will get the placebo. And the one that I'm looking at runs about 2 years, which is a nice change from when the first lady said that I'd have 6 months to live, and now I'm part of a study that lasts 2 years. So I think we're going in the right direction, folks. When do you start chemo and radiation? The 3rd of March. As long as everything is going well, and by that I mean my head, the incision site has to be completely healed, because if they start doing the radiation and chemo, it can infect, it can get really bad, and it'll set me back, and I can't get set back. I can't. So how can I and my family support you and Annie? Again, you just gotta just keep calling us. I mean, especially me. I this has been such a blessing, me getting this, because I'm reaching out to people. People are reaching out to me. I've talked to family members that I haven't talked to literally in 5 years, and it's stupid. It's just absolutely stupid. You sit there and you say, well, geez, I should call Brian. He'll probably talk my ear off. I'll call back, maybe next week when I get some more time. And then next week becomes months, and months become years. It's just so sad that life is so short. It's so short, guys. Don't neglect your family and friends. You became friends with a lot of these people because you got along well, because you meshed well. Don't let it slip away. Seriously, it sucks. What can I and my family do to support you? Oh, there, I just did that. That's two. What do you feel physically? Physically, I feel absolutely fantastic. I feel like I could go and I've asked the doctors and nurses the day and a half after my brain surgery, I was walking miles, and I mean miles, around the hospital. I had my watch to even prove it. I was like a caged lion. I had to get moving. And they said it was good for me to walk, but the nurses were even kind of saying, calm down, Brian. You just had brain surgery. Just calm down. I think I did 3 miles one day, and that was just walking around the inside of a hospital area there. So physically, I feel fantastic. I will say that every once in a while I get a little tiny headache, but a small price to pay to be alive, right? How are you such a effing rock star? Yeah, well, it's very nice of you, Tam. Very nice of you. So that's all the questions we have for this one. I will say, I think I'm going to have a special guest. Wait. Sorry. Let me show you what I have. I have visual aids here. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to show you anyway. Okay, that is my melon after surgery. So you can see that quite the zipper head there. And right now they've pulled all those stitches, and it's all good. I'm healing really well, they said. This is the ski mask I was telling you about. I hope you can see that. So, and what that does is that just holds my head straight, and they bombard me with radiation. And that's how I will be laying as they they shoot that stuff into me. You can probably see that, but yeah, so it basically just immobilizes my head so that that they can shoot the radiation in there, and it's really ultra precise. It's all mapped out by. I just had a MRI yesterday. It's completely mapped out. It's just amazing. It's amazing how far our medical field has come. So, kind of a shorter one today. I hope y'all learned something. If you have more questions, please, I would appreciate them. But yeah, I think we're gonna have a special guest for the next one. So, I love everybody. Thanks for watching these, and if you want to. Any money that, and I don't really give a damn about it, but any money that these stupid videos generate will be funneled back into cancer research, not glioblastoma, but just cancer research, because there's just so many cancers out there that need money. So yeah, if you want to let people know about this, anybody you think might be interested, I'd appreciate that. Thank you guys, love ya. And I'm going to take care of this. All right. Have a good one.